Here at the law offices of Scarinci Hallenbeck, I bring an exclusive interview with attorney Donald Scarinci as he explains the house cleaning that took place at the West New York Parking Authority. Counselor, thank you for a few minutes here today on Hudson County TV. The West New York Parking Authority has been in the news lately. There's been some house cleaning. What can you tell our viewers today about that entire process?
Well, this morning the West New York Parking Authority Commissioners had a special meeting, and they did three very important things. Number one, they filled the vacancy that existed since Monday in the position of executive director with Jamie Cryan. They filled the position from the vacancy that was created when Commissioner Frias left the Parking Authority to take another job, and they hired Wilfredo Rodriguez for that position, and they replaced their legal counsel with a new attorney from Whipple and Azzarillo. And they did those three things in a special meeting this morning.
Now, Counselor, in terms of the new director, it is not a West New York guy. It's someone that is an outsider, per se. Can you tell our viewers a little bit more about who this person is?
That's right. Jamie Cryan actually lives in, I believe he lives in Hoboken. He is currently the chairman of the Hudson County Planning Board. So he's got a lot of roots in Hudson County while not in West New York. And I guess the board was confronted, with a choice to either go out and find a seasoned director, with experience from other parking authorities and other communities. Certainly at a much more substantial price than as to Jamie Cryan, or bring in a new face that does not have entanglements and long-standing relationships with local developers and people from the community who know the person for a long period of time. So there's a certain professionalism and distance that somebody of Jamie Cryan's comportment and status gives to the parking authority, especially after several years of turbulence that they seem to have had over there. So to that regard, and that's the kind of debate that the parking authority expressed when they were considering this candidate.
Counselor, at the end of the day, ultimately it's politics. They're going to be residents that are never going to be pleased or happy. Some will just say, hey, why not hire someone from West New York? You've outlined a very compelling case in terms of why Mr. Cryan is the best candidate for the position. But at the end of the day, what do you say to those cynics that are still not going to be content with that hiring?
I say that there's going to be people who have something negative to say about any decision that gets made. And there is no right and wrong answer. They're simply choices, and the public, certainly the parking authority has to hold the people they hire accountable, and the public holds the parking authority accountable for making the right choices. And I wish there were absolute right and wrongs, but there is not.
Council, one last question here. Ultimately, what do you see as the prognosis for the parking authority? We know that it's become sort of a tarnished agency recently. The mission now is obviously to clean it up, but more so, what's going to be the underlying mission for the agency?
I think it's not necessarily tarnished, and I think it's had a philosophical difference in the direction that it's taken, and I think that what you've seen at the authority, and again, there are legitimately different approaches that board members might take, to handling some of the difficult parking and congestion issues and traffic issues and in a community like West New York. And I think that the majority, I think certainly all of the members of the parking authority were looking for a new direction, and they were looking to put to have a new image and to put a new face on what they do, and maybe try some new ideas and do things differently than they had done in the past. And that doesn't mean that what was done in the past is in any way bad or tarnished. I would say that what they're going to do in the future is different.
Mrs. Scarinci, we appreciate a few minutes of your time. Thank you for providing clarity about the parking authority in West New York.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Fernando Uribe, and as always, stay classy, everyone.